Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, Professor Nelango Indongo, speaking on behalf of Professor Kenneth earlier today, says International Women's Day marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality and embedding equity in the conversation. This day also allows us to reflect on progress made to call for change and celebrate determination.
8th of March is a dedicated global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality, embedding equity in the conversation. The International Women's Day is also a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and communities. That is how important the day is. The University of Namibia, therefore, takes great pleasure in joining the rest of the world in celebrating the International Women's Day. And the university is particularly excited to celebrate this day together with the community of Samora Machel constituency this morning. We are very grateful to the Honorable Councillor, Honorable Karora, for hosting us and for according us opportunity to celebrate the social, the economic, cultural, and political achievements of women with the youth of Samora Machel constituency. This year, the year 2023, the International Women's Day is celebrated under the theme, Cracking the Code, Innovation for a Gender Equal Future. That is the theme. The theme, I will touch a bit on the theme, but I'm sure that the Honorable will really go in detail explaining the theme. The theme highlights the role transformative ideas, inclusive technologies, and accessible education can play in combating discrimination and marginalization of women globally.
In our next story, still on Women's Day, International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating gender parity. Significant activity is witnessed worldwide as groups come together to celebrate women's achievements or rally for women's equality. Watch as they commemorate International Women's Day in Swakopmund under the theme #DigitalAll, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. Elma Dianda, Popular Democratic Movement Chief Whip, told Ipumbushimi that she will no longer stand by when budgets are steamrolled through Parliament, essentially signing blank checks without having access to comprehensive budget documents and breakdowns. She also said she would not be held party to approving budgets when she has no idea what the staff complement of a specific ministry or department is, and which is essentially a fraudulent practice. Even when we apply for entertainment allowances, these are some of the fundamental questions asked: is how many guests are we talking about? Yet in your budget documents, I cannot see how many people you are talking about. Every year we are asking you to bring the staff complement and you don't. That is why I am saying we are signing blank checks here, and that is fraud, and you can go to jail for that, she said. Now she added that while the $100 million added to the old age pension is a good gesture, it is not enough, and with the current $1,400 million, pensioners cannot even buy a combo, water, electricity, and tax and rates. The conditional income grant does not include pensioners, and I do not agree with that. What they get cannot be enough. Can we please include them in the conditional income grant, and at least they will get their flour, cooking oil, and maize meal. The people who are registering the residents are not honest in what they are doing. They are first catering to their own people before they look at the needy people. This selfishness of us must stop, said Dianda. She further also asked why the Ministry of Finance has failed to give feedback or pay tax refunds from the ministry if it has collected about $7 million in outstanding taxes. Landless People's Movement Member of Parliament Henny Sabeb said while they are delighted with the discovery of a third oil well off the coast of Namibia, they are disappointed that the regional councils and local authorities in southern Namibia remain isolated from these talks and potential opportunities. Sabeb delivered his contribution to the 2023-2024 national budget in Parliament on Tuesday. He also argued that the LPM, who is the political leadership in the Karas region, should be consulted and respected as the custodian of the region when it comes to talking about the oil discovery and deals that are likely to emanate from the resource. There is so much secrecy and exclusion as far as oil discoveries are concerned. Recently, the British High Commissioner to Namibia, Charles Moore, gave his unsolicited views about oil and gas discoveries in Namibia, calling on Namibia to learn from them. What an imperialist imposter. But this signals that Namibia might be the next battleground of imperialists and neo-colonialists over our oil resources, Sabeb warned. Now, Sabeb also directed his attention to the Central Procurement Board of Namibia and other public enterprises where he believes corruption is so entrenched and disease he believes has also shot roots in the diamond and general mineral resources sector of Namibia. He also told Finance Minister Ipumbushimi that it would help very little to amend investment laws and establish new institutions such as the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board. I can guarantee you that corruption, policy inconsistency, and weak rule of law are also major obstacles to foreign direct investment. In our next story, the Namibia Students Financial Assistance Fund on Wednesday said that it is in the process of consolidating all recoveries for the financial year 2022 to 2023, and the public will be informed in April. However, there is an improvement in the amount recovered this year compared to previous years. The amnesty was put in place on the 1st of June 2022 and will lapse on the 30th of June this year. According to NASFAF Chief of Human Capital, Olivia Hamwele, defaulters should get ready to make final repayment before the deadline, as interest will start accumulating as of 1st July. All repayment modalities were set in place and a number of initiatives were undertaken to encourage post-beneficiaries to take the advantage of the amnesty and repay. We appeal to the former beneficiaries to take advantage of this opportunity for dual net gains, Hamwele said. Hamwele revealed that the institution has funded 1,032,000 students so far, and the number grows annually. The fund revealed in December that this initiative has resulted in $2.6 billion in interest completely waived. To avoid litigation and blacklisting, defaulters are encouraged to visit/contact NASFAF and make repayment arrangements before the closing date, which is 30th June 2023. Moreover, loans that are currently exempted from interest will start attracting interest as from the 1st July 2023, as the amnesty on interest will end on the 30th of June 2023, he maintained. In our story of the day, we take a look at Namibia exploring and exploits comparative advantages across 4 key areas.
AgriMonitor is jou weeklikse landboukundige program wat jou die jongste nuus in die landbouverwante bedryf en onderwerpe wat daaraan gekoppel is bring. Vir enige advertensie of nuusverwante navraag, kontak agrimonitor@synergy.com.na.
Getting into our story of the day, the government of the Republic of Namibia earlier today hosted an in-depth conversation about how Namibia is exploring and exploiting comparative advantages across 4 key areas, namely recent oil and gas, the green hydrogen value chain, world-class renewable energy resources, and international carbon markets. Here are a few highlights from the Invest in Namibia roundabout.
This is exciting times for Namibia. As you all know, that meaningful discoveries have been made. And from the government's point of view, we are kind of working on trying to find ways on how to, see to it that these resources that has been discovered somehow meaningfully contribute to the lives of the Namibians, as well as seeing how we sustainably can contribute towards the socio-economic benefits of the country. In that way, to ensure that that takes place, Namibia has looked at a number of interventions, one being most importantly a local content policy that is currently in its draft form. The policy has been drafted to meaningfully address the issues of managing the expectations of Namibians, and there is an obligation as spelled out in the policy that the companies, the oil companies that are involved and in our production processes are basically investing in certain areas, especially value creation, creating skills, knowledge transfer, ownership, as well as creating industries or help setting up industries in order to meaningfully contribute to the economy. The idea is for Namibia not to just depend on taxes and royalties, but however gain more value from backwards, forward and sideways linkages, and that is why this local content policy is important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlo. Frans, if we can move to you next. So you were a member of the Green Hydrogen Technical Team. You also advised and still advises the Minister of Mines and Energy on green hydrogen in particular. And you're currently at NAMCOR, where NAMCOR is also obviously considering their proposition in this space. Where are we now as a country, and kind of what is next from your point of view?
Thank you, Franza. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to those that are following us online. Evening, afternoon, depends where you find yourself. My name is Franz Kalenga, as earlier introduced. I'm the Senior Manager for Sustainable Energies at NAMCOR and a Special Technical Advisor to the Minister of Mines and Energy Namibia on green hydrogen. That's a very good question, and I'm so glad that we're able to provide feedback to the audience since our last engagement at COP27. So currently, in terms of a country, we have about 6 projects that are in country, both government and private sector led, and they are all at a different stages. I will start with the hyphen project.
South Africa's economy shrinks in the fourth quarter. We take a look at this story after the break.
In Business 7, you get news on current economic, financial, and business matters in Namibia. The weekly show features interviews with experts and in-depth analysis of burning issues in a way that caters for ordinary Namibians and business connoisseurs alike. For news-related or advertising queries, please contact B7 at synergy.com.na.
Getting into our economic news, South Africa's economy shrank by 1.3% in the fourth quarter of 2022, much worse than economists expected. It is also the largest contraction since the third quarter of 2021, when deadly riots in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng caused massive economic disruption. Local analysts and public institutions are upbeat about the performance of the Namibian economy. According to Namibia's Statistics Agency, the Namibia economy expanded by 6.6%, 6%, and 4.3% during the first, second, and third quarters of 2022, respectively. The fourth quarter figures for 2022 are yet to be released. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.53 to the US and 19.55 to the euro. It trades at 21.91 to the pound and $2.66 buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Zinc is down by 2.59% and Brent crude oil is down by 0.71%, trading at $82.70 per barrel. In the international slot, Colombia and Ecuador working to prevent indigenous abuse by armed groups.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and Oneuptwo.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Allgemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
The Human Rights Ombudsman of Colombia and Ecuador on Tuesday launched a joint alert system to prevent abuses by illegal armed groups from affecting our indigenous communities that live along the country's shared border. The alert system will inform military leaders and government officials in both countries of potential attacks and human rights abuses in a bid to prevent them, the ombudsman said in a press conference in Colombia's capital, Bogota. Both sides of the border see activity by Colombian illegal armed groups, including the National Liberation Army guerrillas and FRAC dissidents who rejected a 2016 peace deal with the state, as well as criminal gangs who carry out drug trafficking and illegal mining, according to security sources. Some 29,000 indigenous Awa people live along the border and are subject to killings, forced displacement, landmines, and recruitment of minors, among other ills, by armed groups, Colombia's ombudsman said. The possibility of carrying out their operations along a porous border with gaps in state presence favors the interests of illegal groups, Colombia's ombudsman Carlos Camargo said. Armed groups hide arms and combatants on the Ecuadorian side of the border, Camargo added. We now take a look at our weather predictions. Sunny and hot weather is expected in Enana at 36 degrees, and thunder showers are expected in Rakana at 34 degrees. Partly sunny weather is expected along the coast with a high of 22 degrees in Walvis Bay and 20 degrees in Henties Bay. In the sports section tonight, the 25th Namibian Newspaper Cup competition supported by Standard Bank will be hosted this year from the 7th to the 10th April in Oshoarango. All this on the other side of this short break.
Yo, Joe, what's up, man? Congratulations on your new promotions, man. Give these men a drink.
Coming right up. Hi, Joe.
Please drive sober. I didn't.
Let's take a look at our sports news. The 21st Namibian Newspaper Cup competition supported by Standard Bank will be hosted this year from the 7th to the 10th April in Oshoarango, where all 14 regions will be represented. The Omaheke region, Kavango East, Oshikoto and Kavango West will battle it out in Group A. Group B's rivals are Karas, Zambesi, Commerce and Oshodonjupa. Group C and D only have 3 teams each. Group C is Kunene, Hardap and Omusati, while Erongo, Ohangwena and Oshana will compete in Group D. The winner of Group A will go head-to-head against the winner of Group C in one semi-final, while the winners of Group B and D will face each other. The Richelo Eagles, Namibia's senior men's cricket team, are holding their breath for the outcome of the last one-day international matches of the World Cricket League 2 competition between Nepal, Papua New Guinea and the United Arab Emirates that starts tomorrow in Nepal. The outcome will determine the Eagles' fate in the competition. The latter countries each have 4 games left in the competition to conclude their 36 games, while Namibia has already finalized their 36 matches with 39 league points in the third place on the log. Nepal, 5th place with 32 points, and the Emirates, 6th place with 31 points, could respectively end on 40 and 39 points, while PNG pose no threat to the Eagles. Hopefully, PNG will win a couple of their matches versus the Emirates and Nepal to secure Namibia's 3rd place on the log. The MTC Nestor Sunshine Tobias Boxing Academy today received sponsorship from PST Bet in the capital. The sponsorship of $2.7 million will run over 3 years. Tobias is a well-known boxing promoter with several world championships on his CV that can secure more top-class boxing tournaments with annual burrs of 900,000 Namibian dollars. The highlights follows shortly.
Please walk responsibly. I did not. Ma'am?
Let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. Alma Dianda, Popular Democratic Movement chief whip, told Ipumbu Shimi that she will no longer stand by when budgets are steamrolled through Parliament. Landless People's Movement Member of Parliament Henny Saber said they are delighted with the discovery of a 3rd oil well off the coast of Namibia. The 21st Namibian Newspaper Cup competition, supported by Standard Bank, will be hosted this year from the 7th to the 10th of April in Oshoarango, where all 14 regions will be represented. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the animate platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on Dstv channel 285 and Gotv channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenorashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.